This demonstration we're going to look at configuring drain on shutdown, but also have a look at how we can perform a live migration of a virtual machine in clustered Hyper-V hosts. What I've done at this point here is I've just come into my cluster manager. So in an earlier demo what we did is we created this cluster VM1 virtual machine. So this virtual machine can now run on both hosts. And I've got two hosts, lon nv host 3 and lon nv host 4. So what we're going to do at this point here is if I just come into Hyper-V manager, what we can see is we can currently see the virtual machine is running on host 3. And what we're going to do at this point here is I'm just going to right click on the virtual machine in my cluster manager. I'm then going to come down to move, and what we're going to do is we're going to live migrate and we're going to move this to host 4. So we'll go for host 4, we'll select OK. And what we'll be able to see within a couple of seconds is we'll actually see this virtual machine starting to live migrate. At this point here we're now going to migrate the virtual machine from host 3 to host 4. Now this will just take a couple of seconds, so at this point here we'll just pause the presentation and return back once the migration is complete. And what we can see now is we can now actually see the virtual machine is now running on lon-nv host 4. We'll just come back to Hyper-V manager on host 3. It's definitely not running here. We'll just move the console on host 4. And what we can see is we can now see the virtual machine is indeed running on host 4. And the advantage of being able to perform a live migration is we can move the virtual machine between hosts with no perceptible downtime. Next thing we'll have a look at here is we'll just have a look at the drain functionality or drain on shutdown functionality of Hyper-V. So in Windows Server 2012 and later, when placing a Hyper-V failover cluster node in a paused state, also referred to as maintenance mode, all VMs on that node are live migrated to other nodes in the cluster. This removes downtime that would usually be required for shutting down a Hyper-V host. However, if a shutdown was initiated without placing a node in maintenance mode, all the VMs will be moved to another node via a quick migration. And the problem with a quick migration, this means that the virtual machines are actually paused. This feature is also available in Windows Server 2016, but what we've also got in 2016 is we've got this drain on shutdown functionality. And this is actually enabled by default. So when a host is shut down, what will happen is virtual machines will be live migrated instead of quick migrated. Next thing we'll do here is we'll just go back to host 3, and on host 3 we'll run a PowerShell commandlet that will just allow us to verify that drain on shutdown is actually configured. So on host 3 I've launched up PowerShell. We'll just run the commandlet. All we're going to run here is brackets get-cluster and then dot drain on shutdown. And what we're looking for here is a value of 1. And if we have a look here, we do have a value of 1. So the next thing we're going to do at this point here is we're currently running our virtual machine on host 4. So we'll move over to host 4, and what we'll do is we'll actually shut down the host. So at this point here we can see the virtual machine is running. It is running on host 4. So at this point here we'll just click our start button. Then all we'll do, right click it, and what we'll do is we'll do a shutdown or sign out, and we'll do a shutdown. Then what we'll do at this point here is just for the reason, let's just go for other unplanned, and all we'll do is we'll click continue. Now the virtual machine is now shutting down, or sorry, the Hyper-V host is now shutting down, and what we should find is after this is completely shut down, what we'll do is we'll move it back across to host 3, and what we should see is we should see the virtual machine now running on host 3. So as you can see, the host is now shut off, so now let's just move across to host 3. All we'll do at this point here is we'll just get rid of PowerShell. As we can see now on lon-nv host 3, what we have is we've got cluster VM1 running. So at this point here, we've now successfully live migrated the virtual machine from one host to the other. Then what we've done is we've shut down the host that was running the virtual machine, and as we can see, the host that was running the machine has now drained off the virtual machine and put it onto the other node in the cluster. And that's the end of this demonstration. Thank you.